select.
I'm powerful, I'm athletic, I'm explosive, and I'm coachable. Whatever you need to get done, I'm gonna do to the best of my ability. And I was just like the sales pitch, but the real thing is, you know, you want a dog, man, I'm the guy. So whatever you need, whatever I need to do to get right and help win games and be an impact, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I did in college. I'm ready to do it all over again.
Hello and welcome to the Miller Lite Dallas Cowboys Draft Special presented by Ford. I'm Bill Jones here inside the Globe Life studio at the Star in Frisco, where it has been a very busy draft weekend. Over the next hour, we're going to take you on an exclusive behind-the-scenes journey to pick 26. The Cowboys are excited about this draft class, starting with pick 26. Big, strong defensive tackle Mazi Smith of Michigan can be a real difference maker on Dan Quinn's defense. The Cowboys took Michigan tight end Luke Schoonmaker with their second-round pick, considered the best blocking tight end in this draft. And then third round, Texas linebacker DeMarvion Overshown from the small East Texas town of Arp near Tyler. The highlight on Saturday, 5'5" Deuce Vaughn of Kansas State, son of Cowboys scout Chris Vaughn. What an emotional moment it was for the Vaughns. Up next, we go along for the ride the past few months with Chris Vaughn and the rest of the Cowboys coaches and scouts as the long path to pick 26 gets underway next.
The 2023 Dallas Cowboys Miller Lite Draft Special, presented by Ford, is brought to you by AT&T. AT&T is the official 5G innovation partner of the Dallas Cowboys. Ford F-Series, the best-selling truck in Texas. And by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by Ford F-Series, the best-selling truck in Texas.
It is critical to win a Super Bowl. To our fans, we've got the substance, we've got the players, we're going to add more players. We're in for a great run for next year.
Senior Bowl is kind of the first All-Star game that you can go and really interview the kids, sit down with them.
So where are you training and all that?
I'm training in Frisco.
Nice.
At Exos.
So you could handle living in the Star? You could live with that?
Yeah. I'm actually always in that area a little bit.
That's cool.
Because I grew up in Plano.
I think the big thing about the Senior Bowl is most of these guys are getting drafted. You know, really at the end of the day, where you really make your living in the draft is, you know, those third round, you know, picks on down. And I think we're 70% of our roster comes from the draft. That's why games like the Senior Bowl is critical if we're going to continue to have success.
Nashawn's little brother, Rayshon Wright.
Damn good football player. You just worry about the lack of the size.
That's how you disrupt the route right there.
This is kind of an old school, steady, reliable, really good player.
The Senior Bowl is a really exciting time of the year because it's our first time to have one-on-one interactions with the guys. And then you get to go see him compete against some of the best talent in the country.
I like the way he plays. He's going to go crazy at the combine.
It's really the last time that you get to see him in a competitive environment with pads on.
Now you do get to see the guys operate outside of their comfort zone.
We're going to go check out the corners and the safeties, DB group, do some individual work.
Justin cross-checks the corners down here, and I do the safeties.
He's a flash player at this point. He's got a bad body. You want to see more strain on film, but inside that bad body is an explosive athlete.
The combine is just another piece of the puzzle. You do get the opportunity to get the medical stuff there and all that, but now this is really our first opportunity as an organization to visit with the players and then seeing them in a competitive environment.
One of Coach Sean Hummer's questions, what do you do that shows the love of the game? Special teams would be probably a good answer for that.
What you see here, I'm taking it right past the Mike linebacker.
It's really important for us to just paint the picture on who these kids are for our coaches, because once they go interview them and talk to them and get to know them a little bit more, you want them to have some context. And it's to me, it's very, very, very important that those coaches have, more on their plate and more to know about a kid before they meet him, for good and bad.
Grew up in Columbus, Ohio, went to Olentangy Orange, played football there.
It's important for us to finally get them to sit down and really just to get their background. We've heard from other sources. It's good to know exactly hearing it from their mouth.
I'm a leader, passionate about what I do, great teammate.
I do like to see kind of, how they interact, how much information they can retain, because it is a little bit of a football quiz for them to some extent. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of a case-by-case basis too. You can learn a lot in those, short 15-minute segments.
Trusting ourselves to the bottom of the route.
At the end of the day, we're all going to come together in April and talk about every stage of that player's career, both as a player, as a person, how'd they interview, and it's not uncommon for 3 or 4 of us to sit in on the same interview and have 3 or 4 different opinions on how it went, and that's kind of the glory of it all, is that you just get to bounce off of each other and and riff and really narrow it all down and figure out who these kids are.
Yes, sir.
All right. Good job, man. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Yes, sir.
Hey, man, it helped tremendously. If a receiver got a step or two.
4.47. Great time.
It's nice.
Some guys you can see, and man, that guy moves really well. And then all of a sudden you get down on the field and like, ooh, maybe he's a little tighter, You know what I mean? So everything's already in, but it's all confirmation again. From the All-Star games then to the combine. So you're just gathering more information.
I mean, 4 or 5 1.
That's pretty good. He looks good.
Is there anything this kid can't do?
It's pretty smooth.
I'm the type of person that I like to absorb. I like to listen to other people talk. And because the 2 of us may be watching the same film or the same combine workout, and someone else's experience is going to trigger them to recognize certain things about a movement or a skill that, what I may have been looking a different way about it. I think you're only going to help yourself the more you communicate and the more you talk about what's happening in front of us. That's the fun thing about being here, is like there's such an open dialogue between scouts and coaches and executives and everywhere. You're always learning, which is really fun.
You just naturally run.
All roads lead to the scouting combine in Indianapolis as the journey to pick number 26 picks up steam. Some 350 prospects invited to the combine each year, but none with as unique a story as Deuce Vaughn.
Vaughn, double deuce, look out, there's no stopping him. Give him 6. Touchdown.
It's been really surreal to kind of go through this process with my son being involved this year. There's definitely a lot more anxiety on my on my part.
To have somebody to bounce questions off of, and to have someone that you can talk to every single day about what you're experiencing and just about what you're going to experience, and for it to be your father is huge. To have that relationship is unbelievable.
He's worked really hard to be here, and who he is just enough. So as a dad, I can't, I need to step back a little bit and remind myself, okay, step back. This is him. It's kind of like watching, your kids go off, riding a bike without the training wheels. You're like, but you got to let them go and enjoy this process for themselves.
He's just been there for me. It's been one of those things where if I have a question, he's going to give me his 100% honest answer, no matter what it is. He's going to give me tips. He's going to give me every single kind of little thing that I may need to be ready for this this day, for this week. And man, he's been doing it for a very, very long time, and doing it very subtly too.
Underneath they go, and why not Vaughn? What a green in front of him. Look out.
The game had slowed down a whole bunch my sophomore year, and I was kind of like, man, I feel like I have a chance if I keep working the way that I do to go and accomplish my dream of playing in the NFL. So kind of going into my junior year, it was one of those, I was kind of thinking to myself, like, if I can replicate the way these past 2 years and work the way that I did these past 2 years and go out here and having a great season, then I knew I'd be ready.
Kind of going into this season, felt like he had a chance to definitely play in this league. You know, what that looks like for who, what his roles will be, all those things are still kind of, you know, up to these different teams, but the skill set was there to make plays, to be productive. The way our game's changing, the production that he has mimics a lot of the guys that have been productive in this league. You know, you feel like he's got a chance. If he's given a chance, he's got a chance to go produce. Working for, you know, Will and the Joneses, you know, it hadn't been awkward. You know, they haven't put me in an awkward situation. They don't have to ask my wife, who my wife would not be objective. There is not a better player in college football or in this draft than Deuce Vaughn.
That's my #1 fan, and she'll tell you that, and I'll tell you that too. The emotional, the just all support that she gives me on a day-to-day basis. There's no question I can't ask her. There's no conversation that can't be had, and I couldn't think of a better woman to be my mother. And I'm so proud and I'm so glad to have her in my corner, in my support system.
The people that have come up and said all the nice things, especially about him as a person, not just a player, but as a person, you know, as a dad, that's what really makes you feel really proud, you know. And so that's at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Because at some point, football's going to end, and those things that he said about him as a person is what's going to have to take over for the next part of his life. Just really proud of you know. And Roxy won't try to make me cry on camera and thing. But really proud of you, seeing your journey to get here. You know, I think that's probably what's going to be the most emotional thing, you know, whenever you do get the phone call. Just, you know, he's the hardest worker I know. He just happened to be my son, which is unbelievable.
I'm not getting to this point without you and Mom and my 2 sisters and my entire support system. I'm not the person I am today without y'all. I'm not sitting here in Indianapolis, accomplishing and striving for my dream without y'all. So a lot of long nights and a lot of car rides to camps and being told no, and just never stop believing in me. Never stop being that person in my corner that kept me going whenever things got tough and those no's became a little overwhelming. So I just want to say thank you for that.
I'm proud of you, really proud of you.
He's a hell of a playmaker.
Well, I definitely like
I mean, I right now wouldn't draft him.
Yeah.
I'm asking you, so I'm kind of
Oh, I'm in. I'm all in on him.
Yeah.
That's right, son. Listen to me. This is the trips in the car. This is the continuation. But when we start playing football, everything takes care of itself. Okay? I'm proud of you. All those people in the house are proud of you. Okay? Just understand, it ain't when, it's where.
Put Vaughn on the tree.
Hey, buddy. Hey, it's going good. This is Dad. My phone wasn't working. Look here, man. You want to come to work with me next week?
I wouldn't mind that.
I got somebody want to speak to you. I got somebody want to speak to you.
I don't know when I've been speaking for everybody that's really in the heart of the Dallas Cowboys is standing here with a tear in our eye. We're so happy to have you on the Dallas Cowboys.
I can't thank you enough.
Well, what I really want to say, you earned every ounce of me being able to make this call. I'm so excited. There's just something magical about this moment that may be bigger than we even realize here talking to you on the phone. But you is now a Dallas Cowboy. Your daddy just handed the card in. Right here.
Yes.
It's got him on it. Congratulations.
Hey, Deuce, Mike McCarthy, congratulations.
What's up, Coach? I appreciate it.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've been doing this a long time. This is so special for you and your father and your family. if you can, if you could make sure you drive, so make sure your dad's on time for work. We'd appreciate it.
I can do that. I can do that.
Deuce, man, congratulations. One of the coolest things I've ever seen in football was your dad making that call.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
So proud of you and your family. That is.
Thank you. We won't let you down. I promise you that. He'll be here this week. I promise you.
We can only imagine what this draft weekend has been like for the Vaughn family. The Miller Lite Dallas Cowboys draft special presented by Ford continues in a moment with another road trip. We head to Iowa, Iowa State, Ohio State, and Alabama in a moment.
This segment was brought to you by Ford F-Series, the best-selling truck in Texas. This segment is brought to you by Dr. Pepper, the one Cowboys fans deserve.
You got it in him?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dude can run.
Yeah. It's the big thing. He can run.
He can run. He'll throw his face in the fan.
Yeah.
Heartbeat. You know.
Be smart in pump protection.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Pro days are maybe a little bit more personal, and you get an up-close picture of the player because you can really feel them because you're closer to them on the field. And then you also get to see how they interact with their teammates. You know, when their teammates are going, you get to talk to their coaches, the strength coaches, and just get a more of a intangible feel at the pro days. Where the combine, you kind of get the bigger picture, the measurables. But the pro days I love because you get the personal, up-close feel of a player more so than maybe from the far-away combine picture.
There you go. There you go. Keep going. Keep going. Yeah. Keep going.
He kicked good. He got a great leg.
Yeah.
I mean, really good tempo to the football, trajectory. I think he's really damn good. Here comes the ball. You gotta get that one up in the air, catch this one, and then catch that one.
That was really cool. So there was a ton of people there, first of all, because of the season they had and the players they have. So it was a cool experience because I got to see a couple players that I didn't know much about, to be honest with you.
Good.
Attaboy, Quentin.
Good job.
Way to compete.
Better time.
Yeah, so TCU's Pro Day this year, it was obviously kind of a cap to the Cinderella story that they had all year long. This is kind of the last segment of the whole spring scouting process. Gives us one last opportunity to watch the guys go through all the different drills. Some guys don't work out at the combine and choose to work out at their Pro Day, so that gives us the final fill in the blank with those type of players. It's an opportunity to kind of watch them in their home environment too, where maybe they feel a little more comfortable with their surroundings in the workout. So hopefully they excel a little bit better in that environment as well.
Back in March, Coach Quinn and I went to 4 different universities with the area scouts to kind of get the lay of the land on the schools that have multiple players and multiple draftable players to try and gather as much information as possible and see what they had for us and what they were like in their own environment.
So really the last 2 weeks of March, I mean, there's 8 to 12 pro days every day all over the country, and every one of these places has draftable players. So, okay, how do we get our coaches, how do we get our executives, how do we get our scouts to the right spots, so we can see the right guys?
I think he has repped. He played, started at left guard at 19, right guard at 21, so he's played both inside.
Fortunately, I got a chance to be with Will and Dan Quinn where we had a chance to get on a private plane. But as a scout, when you have 4 or 5 in a row, I mean, the problem is just getting place to place. A lot of times you have to connect. I guess the good news is you're not watching tape, but you got to get to places.
The position need may change, the prospect of where you're going to, this player may have not had somebody, so getting to that school, making a connection there, finding some new information about somebody. So for in NCAA terms, it's March Madness. For coaching and scouting, it's a form of March Madness. But as many as I can get to, I would. the connection, the information that you have. So those days are valuable because you get to see a player in their environment, around people that they've spent a long time with, that really knows, you know, some of their strengths and their weaknesses and what makes them so unique and so special. So that's as important as anything.
Here we go, here we go. There you go. Good catch. He does have pretty good feet.
Yeah, he does. Set it! Go! Break good.
This is the combine? Was it out of control at the combine?
Yeah.
Just like over?
Yeah, it's over. Yeah, that's what it was like.
You know, the standard operation of the pro days are the same in most places. It's just, you know, it's the atmosphere of the school. You know, you're at Iowa State, that are, you know, the Midwestern, all business kind of deals. And then you go to Ohio State and you go to Alabama, where you know, they're the football meccas of college football, and their environments and facilities are a little different, but at the end of the day, it's about going to work and the atmosphere around it. You know, at Alabama and Ohio State, there were more people than there were at Iowa and Iowa State, but it's all about business when you start going.
So Ronnie's labrum's torn.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, that's why he's not doing anything.
Something like 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that terrible, bro. Like,
they gotta fix it.
Yeah, and he hasn't fixed it yet.
No, it was different this time because we had like Will and DQ and Mitch and like everybody, so we had like somewhat of a blueprint of what we were going to see that day.
We met the night before, even with the area scout, or even in the morning, to talk about the entire group. Who else are we going to see work out? There was a purpose, obviously, for me to go to these schools, but I enjoyed hearing, hey, here's an offensive tackle, here's a lineman, here's a running back, because at that same place I may have known the running back coach, or now I got a chance to watch that person interact.
Stephen Jones, man, you better buy me dinner, man, in Arizona. See you next week. Free dinner.
What's up, guys? All right, I'm doing good. Thank you very much. I need 1, 2 of those. You are on it, man. We're definitely going to use one of the hand shields and have that to go. We'll do this back here. All right, we'll go one at a time so we can make sure we get everybody on film and get it rocking. Sound like a plan? All right, let's rock it. Okay, we're going to work. First thing I want to do is just straight get-offs. You want to come back and we'll go like just 5 yards. I want to see, as we go from the takeoffs on these ones, straight out 5 yards, then you'll stop down the other end, we'll come on back. All right, straight ahead. All right, you want to start us? We'll start right here. Every bit you got now, all of it.
As a coach, it's a good feeling to go into a school and to spend time not only with the player to make sure you're a fit, because not every coach and every player connects in the same way.
Feet him inside. Now the quarterback's here.
Also, having the ability to see it up close and really push it to say,
every bit you got.
I want to see what your best looks like right here. Whatever your fastest is, whatever your most explosive is, that is this time. So in a workout, the drill might be specific to see, let's really measure somebody's change of direction. And so you can tailor a drill towards that. It's really by design to say, this player, I want to make sure I'm hands-on and can feel and push and ask him exactly what we're looking for. Because it may have been something that I was just not sure of on tape.
Good job.
So we just got finished up at University of Iowa. You know, it was a great chance for us to see some guys on our defensive side and a tight end here that we're interested in. Get a chance for DQ to run those defensive line drills and get to know these guys a little bit better. And this is a chance for us to kind of verify and see how these guys do kind of this next month ahead. So it was real productive.
Our scouting road trip continues as we count down the days to pick 26 here on the Miller Lite Dallas Cowboys Draft Special presented by Ford. When we return, we come back to the great state of Texas where the talent is plentiful.
This segment was brought to you by Dr. Pepper, the one Cowboys fans deserve. This segment is brought to you by Ford F-Series, the best-selling truck in Texas.
Jackson Smith and Jigba, wide receiver, The Ohio State University.
Marvin Mims, Oklahoma, wide receiver.
Touchdown, Smith and Jigba. Are you kidding me? Hauls it in. Terrific catch, Marvin Mims.
Oh, me and Marv go way back. We used to hoop together when we were kids, and we ended up being, some football players around the same area, and, definitely had friendly competition.
Sure. It's funny because in high school, our senior year towards the end, we were both kind of chasing the same records.
Our junior, senior year, just seeing who, had the best numbers that week, it was always fun. And
we'd compare to each other after every game. I always go see how many yards did Jackson put up, how many touchdowns did Jackson put up.
Marvin always pushed me, to be the best I can be, try to be better than him. And I'm sure he would probably say the same.
It'll be fun for sure. I think it's something later down the road that I'll definitely look back to. Just both of us being drafted, both of us are at places. I feel like life's going to turn completely around whenever I get drafted, so I'm just be focusing on that. But a little bit down the road, I'm definitely going to check in on Jackson, see how he's doing.
It's easy, we're friends, and, but we love competing, we want to be the best. But, our egos, I don't think, collide, in a bad way. It's just all good fun, and, we want to be the best, but we definitely do help each other.
The Seattle Seahawks select Jackson and Jigba, wide receiver, Ohio State.
The Denver Broncos select Marvin Mims, wide receiver, Oklahoma.
Your 6A Division II state football champs, the Eagles of DeSoto High School.
You can go to anywhere in the Big 12 or the SEC, there's kids from the state of Texas. I think everyone comes to Texas because these kids are ready to play.
Everyone thinks they're going to go to the NFL in Texas. Everyone plays football to go to college. To be here where I'm at right now shows that, I definitely, work to get where I'm at, because everyone does this out here.
Every year, there's a kid from some small town I've never heard of. And they go on to some big university. I'm sure there's a transition period for a lot of them. You're coming from a tiny single Lite Texas town to 100,000 people in the stands, and then that prepares you for the NFL and that aspect of it. But yeah, all the roots that these Texas kids come from, it's pretty cool.
Okay, so Mount Enterprise, it is like 20 minutes from Stephen F. Austin. And so it's like a town like 500 people, and the division football it is. It's when I was there, I'm not sure what it is now, but when I was there, it was a 2A Division II, so it was like super small.
Temple obviously is sort of a small town, and I feel like high school football, like high school for sure, high school is big, kind of the center of Temple, but high school football there is kind of like just the heart of Temple, like the heartbeat of Temple. It was something everybody showed up to. Like we always had the stands packed.
When you see movies and you see like how they shut the town down, and the stadium is packed. 3A Division II football, it's not 6A Houston like where it's big schools and maybe a couple people in the stands. It's like they gonna fill the stands up because small town football is all we got, and everybody, like I said, everybody is family in that community. So whether you got a kid out there playing, cheering in the band, like everybody is there to watch the game, and the love is nonstop even after you graduate. Like they gonna remember you.
Just the atmosphere, like the fans, like how seriously they took it at that level. Like we're still kids at that point, we're still developing. But it's just like the level of trash talk, the level of competition from Temple to Belton to, like you said, Waco to Killeen, just all of that right there. Yeah, for sure. I feel like once I got in college, I was already kind of familiar with that.
Oh, it gets you ready good because, you're used to the crowds. When I came into Oklahoma State, the crowds were just a little bit bigger, but from high school, we still had those type of crowds. People traveling to our games, and Friday nights was like big nights, so Saturdays became, the same thing.
And once you get the playoffs, that's where it really gets severe. It get real hectic. Just competing wise, everything bigger in Texas, faster. That's just how we grew up learning about the ball. So
there's just something about the DFW and everything up here that
feel like has prepared me, to go to college.
To me, Texas high school football, like, there's nothing like it. I mean, you just grow up kind of in the system and looking up to all the kids, that play at your high school team.
The coaching is really, really good. Like, the attention to detail is ridiculous. Not only at the high school level, but like everything beneath that.
There's college-type facilities in Texas high school football, so you see the players grow and develop in a unique way, and it's why so many players are drafted in the NFL from Texas.
You can tell there's a little bit of a professional edge that some of the kids that were born and bred in Texas, no matter where they went to school, coming out there, it's not too new or eye-opening for them. And it's not as scary for them either, I don't think.
Over the years, so many former Texas high school football players have made it to the NFL. And up next here on the Miller Lite Dallas Cowboys Draft Special presented by Ford, the road to pick 26 comes right here to the Star in Frisco.
This segment was brought to you by Ford F-Series, the best-selling truck in Texas.
Dallas Day for us is a huge benefit because it's such a hotbed of talent. Like, not only in the DFW area, you have all these colleges that are around here too. So not only do we get the local guys, that went to high school here, but then we also get another way to watch all the college guys too.
How we doing, guys? Austin. Scott, nice to meet you. Jason, yep, and Logan, I met you already. Yeah.
Logan, Evan. Not everybody gets invited to the Combine. So this is extra exposure for local Dallas guys to get in front of our scouts, our leadership, and our coaches. It's a good time for us, again, to have that hands-on learning experience about the player as opposed to secondhand information from somebody else.
In the gun, are you flat stance? Are you left foot back or right foot back?
Left foot back.
Left foot back, cool. That's good. No, you're good.
Yeah, it's limited time, and it's really, that's part of the evaluation process. Is like, at this level, you do have to think fast, and that's part of the evaluation for these guys is you're bringing them in and you're making them think on their feet and making them react quickly.
Bloop. There you go.
What's up, guys? That's good. You doing all right?
Dallas Day is awesome. A lot of these kids grew up wanting to wear a star, so for a day at least, they all get to, don a uniform.
My gun's still hot, man. I've been timing 40s this week. I'm ready to roll, coach. 6'9". We got 6'9", 7'0".
It's always a fun day. We get great evaluation from it, get to spend time with a lot of these kids, and I think it's something we get to use to our advantage, and we found some pretty good players from it.
48. He's had a good little day.
Yeah.
He's like a bigger Hendershot. Got some Hender swag.
We get a chance to get our hands on them, and we teach them a drill and see how they react, and watch them on routes live, and then get a chance to work with them in our classroom as well. We'll get the play name, right? And then you'll have an alignment, an assignment, and adjustment. It gives you an opportunity is to see how they learn. Some guys, you can draw it up on a board and all of a sudden, boom, they got it right away. Some guys need a walkthrough, but we're just trying to get information when they get here in the building. All right, and he's got this leverage at you. On the top, you're just gonna slap him by and go by.
Really trying to see what they can apply both in the meeting room and the classroom. Gives you an opportunity to piece together if they'd be able to learn the offense that we run here. Obviously, at the end of the day, the field portion, you got to see if they can play ball.
Woo! Perfect, good shot. There's a start right there.
It's an annual rite of spring. Dallas Day completes the on-field evaluation process. But on the road to pick number 26, now it's time to get inside the war room, put a draft board together, and it starts right at the very top of the draft.
All right, we're going to get started on the quarterbacks.
Yeah, first guy up is Bryce Young from Alabama.
Young pumps it, looking, steps back, in the end zone, touchdown Alabama! What a play by Bryce Young!
The area scouts are there to kind of introduce the player, tell them about who the player is, what they like, what they don't like, how they'll fit as a Dallas Cowboy.
For a college guy, I think he anticipates at an extremely high level compared to most college guys coming out.
And then getting to hear everyone else's opinions on the player. Maybe I have this guy a little high. Collaboratively, our group works really well together. I think it's what makes this place so special. At the end of the day, you want to get it right for the Dallas Cowboys.
If he can remain durable in this league, like, he's a no-brainer from a skill standpoint.
You know, you're going to hear different opinions, you're going to hear different perspectives, but we're all in this together. And I love those moments because it's fun for me to see how passionate my coworkers are about this team and the direction we're going in. You know, I love working with men and women who just want to win.
This kid's ability to make something out of nothing is special. I just love that he's a thrower first all the time. Like, he escapes to get the ball downfield.
He's got a rare ability to play the game like a point guard or a shortstop. Great anticipation, touch and pace. Don't need to overcoach him.
You know, our scouting staff is fortunate to be involved. There's some places where scouts turn in their reports in January and you know, they might come back for a day or two before the draft and get a peek at what the board is. But, you know, here we're actively involved in getting to build that draft board every year.
Like the Steph Curry of football, right? Like, this guy is a scorer's mentality. He's not just a shooter.
Yeah, we're really lucky the way it goes here is the coaches do have a lot of say and our input means something. You always want to try to have your hand in the guys that you're coaching, so it gives you that ownership.
He loves his play temperament. I mean, calm and cool instincts is rare.
I would say, like, this year, like, the surrounding cast wasn't as strong as it's been, you know, for him to be as productive.
You don't get enough credit for his leadership. Like you said, the cast wasn't as good, and there's always a cast of characters around there, and he's always the same person all the time.
There's a historical value that you get at looking at all the players, knowing what you're playing against. You know, those guys could become free agents in a couple of years. They could be opportunities for trades. All those things come up, and you want to keep and gather all that information and store it, and it just gives you an opportunity to know what's in the league, what trends are coming, the players that are in. You understand the strengths and the weaknesses within the draft positionally.
You love everything about him. You don't need to knock him on his height. I mean, he plays the position the right way, instincts, awareness, the way he's wired. You know, just having a chance to visit with him for about a half an hour down there, he checks all the boxes.
Still alive, flings it downfield as Brooks wide open, and the Tide take the lead, and that is patented Bryce Young magic.
All that pre-draft work comes down to this. It's pick number 26 for the Dallas Cowboys. Up next, here on the Miller Lite Dallas Cowboys Draft Special, presented by Ford.
This segment is brought to you by AT&T, official 5G innovation partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
I'm ready to take the nose call.
I mean, we have them 1 and 2 together.
You got 2 minutes.
We'll just get warmed up.
Will, who would you take?
Personally, I would go with Mazi because I know that he helps us now with the guard. I love the guard too. My question is, you're adding something to it where we have depth. I think the defensive lineman gives you an immediate starter and something for the future.
Here I am cut through if we missed one of those two guys after having them both here in our hands.
Yeah, we're better on the line of scrimmage with either one of these guys.
We've had offensive linemen there. We've had the opportunity to pick them. We've not had a defensive lineman, interior defensive lineman that high in quite some time.
Let's do Smith.
We're good.
Let's get him on the phone.
They picked me.
Mazi.
Hello? Yo.
What's happening, baby?
What's up, man?
Hey, I got somebody that wants to talk to you, my man. Hold
Yes,
on
sir.
1 second.
Yes, sir.
Is this Mazi,
Yes, sir, this is Mars.
the cowboy?
Yeah.
Well,
We making it happen.
Mazi, I'm telling you, it's our thrill to be able to call you. This is Jerry Jones. And
Yes, sir.
tell you, we just turned your card in. We're drafting you for
Thank you.
Be our
Oh, yeah.
big part of our defense. I'm going to coach, right? And but I want the coach to say to you, everybody's wanting to say hello to you, but congratulations on your career and for working as hard as you have to get there.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Mazi, how you doing? Can't tell you how excited we are to have you. You'll be a phenomenal fit. You crushed it in your visit here, so you're at a great place, young man. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Mazi, this is Coach DQ.
Yes, sir. What up? What up, big dog?
What's up, man? How about this, huh?
Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy.
Dude. Yeah, well, you did it, bro. We can't wait to get you here, man. We
Yes,
can't wait
sir.
to get rocking with you. You're gonna. I'll give you back the call, and the guys will get you rocking to get going.
Yeah,
All right,
thank
congrats, man.
With the 26th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Mazi Smith, defensive tackle, Michigan.
Thursday night, a night of anxious anticipation, ending in elation for Mazi Smith. And up next here on the Miller Lite Dallas Cowboys Draft Special presented by Ford, Mazi comes to the Star in Frisco.
This segment was brought to you by AT&T, official 5G innovation partner of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys.
The road to pick number 26 arrives right here. Mazi Smith, the newest Dallas Cowboy, pick number 26 in the first round, arrives here at the Star in Frisco just hours after being picked on Thursday night. Got a beaming smile on his face. You're so happy to be a Dallas Cowboy, aren't you, Mazi?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Take me back to Thursday night. And what was that, the anticipation like? What was that moment like when you got the call?
Man, my agent told me we probably go somewhere after the 25th pick. I didn't know it was going to be that quick, you know. But so around 20, I started getting antsy. You know, me and my mom, we started getting a little antsy. And, you know, after that 25th pick came in and the 26th one, they called me. Like 20 seconds before the pick was in, I was like, oh, it's me, like, you know, so I just was ecstatic, you know, hugged my mom. It was just me and her, you know, I just decided to make that her day and just spend it with her, just me and her, and, you know, it was special.
Yeah, what does it mean to you to be a first-round draft pick and playing for this team now and all that work that you've put in, not only during your time at Michigan, but growing up and everything,
Mm-hmm.
and that moment comes to fruition now?
Well, certain decisions that you make when you're young, you have no idea it's going to impact your life and put you in such a special and such a rare position. You know, my cousin, he was the 18th pick in the draft a while ago, and I told him I was going to go beat him. You know, I didn't beat him, came close, but, you know, I finally feel what it feel like to be a first-round draft pick, and I could talk to him, and we could share this moment together, and it's just an honor, you know, that people saw the work that I've been putting in since I was 7, and it's all coming to fruition. And now I get to play the game longer, you know. I want to play this game as long as I can.
Well, I know Dan Quinn, Cowboys defensive coordinator, is very excited. You know who also is very excited? I mean, he was tweeting out as soon as the pick came, and that is Micah Parsons.
Yep.
How about being able to play with guys like Micah Parsons on this defense?
Man, he like a guy like that, he a dog. He a guy that he lead by example. He just lead by his effort. He lead by his play. That's somebody you'll never want to let down. That's somebody that, you know, if you got to do some extra work to help them win the game, then it is what it is. That's somebody you ain't afraid to go in the trenches to go to war with. And that's what's important to me. You know, get out here and play with all the dogs. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot.
And that's what you're bringing to this defense.
And I'm another one. So.
That dog mentality?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Come on now.
All right, Bruce Feldman's the biggest freak athletes in college football. At the top of the list was this guy, Mazi Smith. And I understand they even had to buy additional weight equipment or change up the weight room at Michigan just for you?
Yeah. We had this machine called the Combo Twist. They had to get some extenders for it because we couldn't fit all the weight on there. You know, they tried to tape it on, try and do whatever. You know, they finally got it made, and, you know, it was good. You know, I'm a strong guy.
You are a strong guy. He had 34 bench reps of 225 pounds at the combine. Now, you have heard of Larry Allen, who is, if not the he's the strongest player in Cowboys history. There's video of him lifting 700. You think you can get anywhere near 700? You work on it over here, right?
500. I got 500 for sure. 7. You know, give me an off season. We'll get it done.
What is your goal as you get started in your NFL career now, just this first year?
Do it right. You know, don't waste no time, no wasted movement. You know, it's gonna take a time to acclimate, but don't do anything to make that acclimation period longer than what it need to be. You know, so just get in, get with the right people, trust the people in this building that like they didn't trust in me, you know, picking me 26th overall and just go get to work. You know, they say they got a plan for me, I trust them. Whatever plan they got, whatever vision they got, we got the same one. So, you know, just don't waste no time and get straight to it.
Do you feel like you already made your home here at the Star in Frisco? You made the rounds all day today and seeing the place. Pretty nice place.
This home. I'm real happy to be here. Real happy to be here, and I just get a warm, bubbling feeling, you know. I don't know what to tell you, you know. It's just cool. I can't really explain it, you know.
Well, the Cowboys are happy to have you too. Mazi, welcome to the Dallas Cowboys,
Yes,
and we appreciate you joining us here. And when we come back here on the Miller Lite Dallas Cowboys Draft Special presented by Ford, we're going to take a look at the rest of the Cowboys draft picks.
This segment was brought to you by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys.
Welcome back to the Miller Lite Dallas Cowboys Draft Special presented by Ford. I'm Bill Jones, and time to take a look back at what the Cowboys did the last 3 days. Pick 26 in the first round, it was Mazi Smith, the big defensive tackle from Michigan. Second round, Luke Schoonmaker, the blocking tight end out of Michigan who can do so much more than just that. DeMarvion Overshown, the Texas Longhorn from Arp, Texas in the third round. And then on Saturday, Viliami Jr. Fihoko, defensive lineman from San Jose State. Asim Richards, the offensive tackle and guard from North Carolina. They traded back into the sixth round to get Eric Scott Jr., a cornerback from Southern Miss. Deuce Vaughn goes pick number 212 in the sixth round out of Kansas State. And finally, in the seventh round, Jalen Brooks, the wide receiver from South Carolina. What a draft weekend this has been. Up next, the schedule will be out very soon, and training camp is just 3 months away. Thanks for joining us here for the Dallas Cowboys Draft Special.
The 2023 Dallas Cowboys Miller Lite Draft Special, presented by Ford, was brought to you by AT&T. AT&T is the official 5G innovation partner of the Dallas Cowboys. Ford F-Series, the best-selling truck in Texas. And by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys.